months ago, I got this. This is the L.A.B DF3, and over the course of about 6 rounds, it was the best putter I've ever used in my life. Well then, a couple weeks ago, I got this. This is the L.A.B Mezz.1, and I think I might like it even better. Today, I'm going to share with you my experience using both of these putters. I'm going to talk about how they feel, how they work, my thoughts on both of them, what a L.A.B putter is, but then I'm going to use the compare feature on my putter putting system, and I'm going to hit 10 putts from different distances with each of these clubs. So if you've been thinking about buying a L.A.B putter, if you've never even heard of L.A.B, well, keep watching. This is going to be a good video. Okay, so first off, what is a L.A.B putter? L.A.B stands for lie angle balance. And essentially what that means is it is weighted to completely remove torque from the golf swing. What is torque? Well, that's the element that keeps you from squaring up the club face. Let's say you get nervous and you push it, or let's say you get nervous and you pull it. That's one of the biggest reasons that golfers miss putts. So if you're able to remove that torque and automatically square up the club face every single time, you're gonna make more putts. Does it work? Well, honestly, yeah, it works pretty well. That is one of the biggest variables in putting consistency that's taken away. So essentially, as long as you can get it going on the correct line at the right speed, you don't have to worry about the nerves and pushing and pulling your putts. Over the course of the last 2 months, I've exclusively been using L.A.B putters, and yeah, my putting's improved. I've had fewer putts per round than I was having before. But in my head, the DF3, the Mezz.1, which are the two most popular L.A.B putters right now, I thought they were essentially going to be the same, feel the same, just kind of look a little bit different. But boy, was I wrong. These two putters feel very different from one another, and if you like one, you may not like the other, and vice versa. So let's talk about my experience with both of these, using them head-to-head, back-to-back, so I can give you a little bit of insight into what to expect if you're looking to buy one of these. So the DF3 is, I don't know, the funnier looking one. It definitely has a little bit more of a dead sound. The DF3 almost feels like there's more of like a shock absorber, like it's just a little bit more dead. Also, because of the unique design, I feel like I can control the speed a little bit better with this one. If there's one area where I feel like this putter is lacking, it is in distance control, especially with those long putts. So I've used the DF3 more. If you haven't watched my full DF3 video, I will link to that below. Definitely go check it out. The Mezz I was surprised by. It's like, I don't like the sound quite as much. It almost feels a little bit tingier and a little bit more hollow. So coming off the face, it just feels a little bit better. Although I've still yet to figure out really long putts and lagging this. I've certainly knocked some long putts close, made a couple of them, but this is still the area where I struggle the most. The Mezz, on the other hand, when I line this up, there's just something about the way it looks for me. It is easier to get it going on my intended line. So there's something about the design of the Mezz.1 that when I look down at it, it's just like I automatically see the line and I'm able to aim it much better. And in my head, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a magic bullet. And then of course I go on to 3-putt and was like, well, maybe it's not what I thought it was going to be. So that's the key to L.A.B. You still have to be able to read the greens and get it going on the right line. As long as you're aimed in the right direction, the putter's gonna help you. But if you're not aimed in the right direction, well, then there's nothing much you can do. So I've only played 1 round of golf with the Mezz.1, and I went out blind. I did not hit a single putt with this before I got to the first green. On the second hole, I made a 19-foot putt to save my bogey, and then on the third hole, I made a 33-foot putt for birdie. On the 9th hole, which is the hardest hole in all of Pumpkin Ridge, I've played this hole probably 50 times, I've parred it maybe 3. I make a 48-foot putt for birdie. I have never birdied this hole. And at the end of the round, when I looked at my putting statistics in Arccos, my putting strokes gained were +5 compared to an average 10 handicap. So I'm a 10 handicap, and compared to the average 10 handicap, I gained 5 strokes just with my putter. I have never done anything close to that, well, ever. And the way it felt backed up the statistics. I'm standing over putts just being like, yeah, of course I'm gonna make this. Yeah, of course I'm gonna get it close. I didn't have a single 3-putt the rest of the round. I made long putts. My lag putts were good. I was hitting the lines I wanted, and distance control for me felt a lot stronger with the Mezz than it did with the DF3. Don't get me wrong, the DF3 is an excellent putter with a great feel and very stable, and it has definitely helped with that torque, and it's definitely helped me hit straighter putts, especially putts within 10 feet where all of a sudden they felt more automatic. But for some reason, the Mezz, despite not sounding as good, despite not feeling quite as good off the face, everything else about it for me was magical. But I wanted to know, was this all in my head, or was the Mezz actually the better putter for me? So I whipped out my putter, which if you are not familiar with it, it is a smart putting mat. Essentially what it does is it gamifies your practice. So there are 24 different putting locations from 3 feet back to 11 feet. And there's all sorts of different games you can play, practice modes, but one of them is a Puttr Compare feature. So it has you hit a series of 10 putts from 10 different locations, using as many putters as you want, and then it is going to analyze all your data, including your speed, how close to the center of the cup you were, how many putts you made, all of these different factors, and it's going to tell you what the better putter is for you. So you can see me here going through the test, and let me spoil it for you. The Mezz.1 was the better putter for me with a total score of 14.82 compared to 14.56 of the DF3. I made 80% of my putts with the Mezz versus 70% with the DF3. On the putts that I made, I was more accurate with the Mezz, but one thing I thought was interesting is that my speed was better with the DF3. So my speed average was 9.36 out of 10 versus 9.22 with the Mezz, and that kind of checks out because of the way it feels. It feels a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, it feels a little bit more stable. It doesn't surprise me that my speed with this was a little more consistent, especially since we're talking putts that were within 10 feet. Once you stretch things out a bit, you get longer putts. That's where I started to struggle with the speed a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, I'm bought into the lie angle balance technology. No, it is not a magic wand. If you are a terrible putter and you can't get your speed right and you can't get your line right, this is not going to, well, it's probably gonna help you a little bit, but it's not overnight gonna make you a PGA Tour player. But by minimizing, if not completely removing torque, I do think these putters will legitimately help most golfers. After my last video, I had a bunch of comments being like, who would spend $500 for a putter? Oh, this is super gimmicky, da 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 da. And for all of those skeptical and negative comments I got on the last video, there are an equal number of people saying, I've got a putter and it made me a better putter. There are a whole bunch of real people out there that can attest to, yeah, these things are kind of the real deal. So let me just summarize this. Either of these putters, I would be absolutely thrilled to use. For me, I think I'm gonna be sticking with the Mezz.1 for the foreseeable future. It felt better to be on the course, it's felt better in practice. In doing a head-to-head technical comparison against the DF3, it also won out. With that being said, I don't think one is better than the other. I think it really comes down to what you like and what you prefer. And if you're gonna spend upwards of $500 on a putter like this, I suggest you try and go and test some of them out for yourself so you can really get a sense of what you like. A great place to do that is Golf Galaxy, where they were kind enough to send me some gift cards where they said, hey, take this and go buy whatever you want to review. So naturally, I went to my audience and said, hey, what would you like to see me review? And the overwhelming response was a L.A.B putter. So that's what we did. So thanks to Golf Galaxy for helping make this video possible. I also do need to make sure that I mention that this feature, the just picking the ball up with it, it's great. I'd almost stick with the DF3 just for the convenience of that, because you don't really get that with the Mezz, unfortunately. I keep trying to like scoop it and it doesn't work. So that's a one added bonus for the DF3 there. But anyway, not a bad option. I am officially a L.A.B convert. Doesn't matter which one of these putters I use, I'm sold, I'm a fan. With that, my name is Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Breaking 80, where we talk about cool golf products and cool golf courses. If you have not watched my full DF3 review, you can check that out right here. I think you're really going to enjoy it. And with that, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.